The rain might clear it, you know.
Welcome to wet and windy Newcastle Park, surrounded by thunder and lightning here for the start of the Limerick Senior Football Championship live on Limerick GA TV. Up in action tonight is the holders Newcastlewest versus Broadford. I'm delighted to be joined in commentary by Par Ranahan and Matt O'Callaghan of the Weekly Observer. Starting with you, Matt. Holders, as I said, Newcastlewest. You know, big favourites for this game. It'll be interesting to see what Broadford can put up against them.
Yeah, it will, John. Certainly looking through the Drom Broadford team, it's a completely new look Drom Broadford team. The old guard, as we've been saying during the week, are gone. And just looking at the 6 forwards that they have named, 5 forwards played in the under 21B final last year, which they won. But having said that, it's a huge jump in 12 months to make the transition from under 21B to senior. And like you must know, while they were winning that under 21B championship, Newcastlewest were winning the Premier under 21 championship. So that will give you an idea. But certainly, I suppose if there was one game that Drumcolor, who were very much in transition, didn't want in the first round, it was certainly champions Newcastlewest, and a Newcastlewest team club which they have a great rivalry with over the years. Now, Drum haven't beaten Newcastlewest in the county championship since 2016. They knocked them out. They dethroned them in 2016 here in the quarter final in as poor a game as I've ever seen. Certainly it ended 6 points to 1-2, and of course we remember in 2015, the previous year, Newcastlewest had that great win over in Kilmallock in the county senior final. So, but a lot has happened for both sides since this meeting here in 2016, and unfortunately for Drom Broadford, the graph hasn't been upwards. It has been a slide, and it has been a slide down since then. A slide down so far that they only saved their bacon last year through the relegation playoff.
Yeah, we'll get the thoughts of Par Ranahan in a moment or two. We're expecting a good few changes on the Newcastlewest side. We'll give you the teams that were named before the game, and starting with Drom Broadford. Starting with the Drom Broadford side, James Noonan in goals, full back line, Michael Ryan, Jack Ryan and Brian Noonan. Half back line, Sean O'Sullivan, Garrett Noonan and Seamus Brosnan. Midfield sees Dennis Donegan, partner Killian Fahey. Half forward line of Graham Roach, Derry McCarthy, who captains the Drom Broadford side, and Damien Burke. And a full forward line, Brian Ahern, James Malnaw and Jack Pearce. Heading over to the Newcastlewest side, in goals, Mike Quilligan Jr. Wearing number 2 will be Brian Foley, not Mike McMahon, as was in the programme beforehand. Mike O'Leary, Brian Hurley wearing 3 and 4. Number 5, Mike O'Keefe. Thomas Quilligan captains the side from the number 6 position. Whether he plays at centre back or not remains to be seen. Number 7 will be James Kelly. 8, Mike McMahon. 9, Colm Foley. 10, Sean Murphy. 11, Dermot Kelly. 12, Donica Woods. 13, Owen Hurley. 14, Ian Corbett. And 15, Seamus Hurley. Par Ranahan, we're expecting a good few changes in this Newcastlewest side, as the lightning comes down again here at McNeville Park.
Yeah, a strange year and a strange day as you're going to get for a match. It's boiling hot sun earlier on, it's pouring rain 1 second, stopped raining now, and it looks like perfect conditions for about the next 5 minutes anyway. But yeah, look, as Matt said, Newcastlewest, the farm team in the county, they're in the last 4 under 21 county Premier finals, winning straight, so they're starting to bring through some of those players. So, but you've still some of the older guard, if you want to call it, the likes of Mike McMahon, Stephen Kelly still involved there in the subs. So like, it'll be very interesting. We're kind of looking out here now. We've Mike McMahon and Ian Corbett midfield where we probably would have expected them to start, and Thomas Quilligan gone half forward, so the programme was a bit off as we probably expected.
Yeah, just waiting for referee Mike Sexton to get us underway here at McNeville Park, where the floodlights are on. The lightning is gone for now, and it's going to be Newcastlewest with Ian Corbett in possession straight away into Mike McMahon. We think Shane Stack has started. He's going for the ball now. He started at top of the right for Newcastlewest. He's on the run straight away here. First attack for this Newcastlewest side, of course, county champions last year. Stack with the hand pass, gives the ball back, and it's possession now for Newcastlewest. First shooting chance of the game. Is it gone to the left? It's gone well to the left and wide, and a poor enough wide from Dermot Kelly, but no surprise to see Newcastle start well, Pat.
No, look, they're the farm team, and seemingly the challenge games they've played around Munster, they've been competing very well with the likes of Nemo Rangers, Cairns Rathleys, Kilcarney Legion, so you'd expect them to start at definitely a high tempo and see our Drum able to keep with them.
Drom in possession now, and it's Garrett Noonan, Limerick County player, of course, under pressure straight away though from two Newcastlewest players. Hand pass goes back inside, looking for Damien Burke on the Drom Broadford side. Gets the pass away to Killian Fahy. Fahy now left footed pass straight down the middle to Derry McCarthy, the vastly experienced captain of this Drom Broadford side. Hands it off to Dennis Donegan, and it's back to Derry McCarthy again. Left footed ball inside. It's James Molyneux looking for possession for Drom Broadford. Very talented youngster here to Derry McCarthy. McCarthy goes low with the pass. Good chance here for Brian Ahern wearing number 13. Good defending back there from Newcastlewest, and Mike O'Keefe cuts that out immediately. But Matt, Drom Broadford will be happy enough with that attack, although it didn't yield a score.
Yeah, they'll be happy enough with it. I'd say probably one of the fears that they had coming in here. We'll recall here last year in the semi-final with Adair that Newcastlewest absolutely blitzed Adair in the opening stages, and I'd say that Drom Broadford were probably a bit apprehensive about that now, that they may do the same today. But you see, the truncated league, the approach of teams is going to be much different. It's just effectively it's a 2-game campaign as distinct from a 5-match campaign, and so it's all guns blazing from the off.
And it's Newcastlewest in possession in their defence now, and it's their number 19 Stephen Brosnan in possession. Goes towards the middle, and bit of time now for number 9, that's Colin Foley on the Newcastlewest side. Back to Stephen Brosnan. Of course the Drom Broadford defenders funneling back. It's only 2 inside the Newcastlewest half, and they're both inside the full forward line. As is Brian Hurley looking to deliver that one. It's well intercepted by Dennis Donegan from a Drom Broadford point of view. Risky enough hand pass back to the Drom Broadford keeper, James Noonan, but it's easily mopped up by the keeper. Now it's Drom Broadford with Donegan on the attack over that far side. There's a bit of space, but the Newcastlewest defender gets there first. But pop-up possession is Killian Fahy now for Drom Broadford. Low ball in, looking for James Molyneux. Molyneux, very dangerous players we've already mentioned. Gets the ball in his hand. There could be trouble for Newcastlewest. Good run from James Molyneux. There's a fist back there. Great work back in defence by Newcastlewest, and it was Seamus Hurley that did it there. Excellent defending.
Yeah, excellent defending there by Newcastlewest. But you said there a while ago, John, Drom will be quite happy with the start. And of course, James Molyneux is a target man, and we know what he brings. He's a very exciting young footballer, and they're trying to bring him into the game right from the start.
For sure. Good work in the Newcastlewest defence, but it's still Drom Broadford on the attack here. And the attack comes out here to number 15, that's Jack Pearce. Pearce plays the ball back to Killian Fahy. Patient build up from Drom Broadford here, and it's all the way back to Jack Ryan on the Drom Broadford side, going down that left side, gives it back inside to Pearce, but it's mopped up. His crossfield ball easily dealt with by Ian Corbett. We're just nearly 4 minutes played here, no score early on, tentative enough start by both sides, and it's Drom Broadford in possession once again. They'll be happy enough at this start. Inside now to Garrett Noonan. Ball played up to Killian Fahy. Fahy trying to unlock this Newcastlewest defence. It's good defending back there by Sean Ivis though, in front of James Molyneux. Was Mike O'Leary expected to wear number 3, but that's definitely Sean Ivis. And it's Newcastlewest on the attack. Once more over on that left hand side. Hand pass by Colin Foley as the Lightning strikes again here at Mick Neville Park. Ball played in again over onto that left side. Maybe another shooting chance here for Newcastlewest. Is this the first score of the game? Seems to be a good effort from our angle here. And that's the first score of the game, Pat. Excellent stuff.
Yeah, I think it was Owen Hurley to kick that. In fairness, last year he was really good from dead balls for Newcastlewest, and he came in lovely off the line there, and I suppose that was their Newcastlewest up to now. It was a small bit sloppy, but that was a brilliant score from Owen, who like I said, had a great year last year for the boys. Yeah,
took over the free taking duties at times, did Owen Hurley. Very impressive corner forward on this Newcastlewest side, and it's going to be Newcastlewest with possession again. It's into Thomas Quilligan. Lovely pass, more akin to a bit of soccer there from this Newcastlewest side, but they're on the attack again, and it's Captain Thomas Quilligan who has it. Plays the ball back to Seamus Hurley. Another shooting chance here. Instead it's gone in low, and it's gone straight to Garrett Noonan's possession from Drom Broadford's point of view, and they'll work things again from their own 45 metre line. It's Jack Ryan, gets the hand pass away to Dennis Donegan in a bit of space now. Out to that far side again. Ball coming in, looking for James Molyneux again, but Newcastlewest are back there in numbers, and it's Donegal Woods who initially won possession but couldn't hold on to it. It's gone over the sideline, and we're going to restart with a Drom Broadford sideline ball over on that far side.
James Mullen, in fairness, is a good target man inside, and it looks like himself and Brian Ahern are going to be playing inside. And at the minute, if Drom can move the ball a little bit quicker, it's 2-on-2 inside, but it's a slippy ball at the minute. It might look okay on television, but it's very slippy.
Foul there on the Drom Broadford number 5. That's Sean O'Sullivan. Ball played out here to Burke, Damien Burke, and back over to the far side, as Pa Ranahan mentioned. Very, very wet conditions. The rain has stopped here in Rathkeale, but a very slippy ball with the rain that has gone so far. It's Damien Burke now, as Brian Ahern called through it into Brian Ahern, and just more evidence of that slippy ball as Newcastlewest easily mop things up. And now it's Thomas Quilligan in possession, wearing number 6, but operating around the half forward, and pass doesn't go to hand. Corbett unlucky not to get possession, and Derry McCarthy restarts this attack for Drom Broadford. 1 point to no score in favour of Newcastlewest in the early stages here at McNeville Park. That's Drom Broadford with Killian Fahy on the run. Fahy tripped straight away by Thomas Quilligan, going to be a free. And Matt, despite trading by a point early on, Drom Broadford will be relatively happy with this start.
They will be happy. They will certainly be happy with their share of the possession, and certainly the young players in particular. They certainly have shown no signs whatsoever of stage fright, and they still need his passes. They have 2 target men inside, 2 men that can move. They need to start getting it in quicker.
They do straight through the middle now. It's Sean O'Sullivan for Drom Broadford. Goes over to his right hand side looking for options, finds one, and eventually comes back in here to Damien Burke. Low pass from Burke to Garrett Noonan. Now the chance for Drom Broadford to try and move it quickly. It's Killian Fahy. He's got Jack Ryan outside. It's not a good pass though from Fahy. It's mopped up by Stephen Brosnan, unable to keep it in play. It's going to be a sideline ball for Drom Broadford, and it's going to be Brian Ahern to take. In fact, it's Jack Ryan that's decided to take it instead. Goes all the way back though, and that's a bit of a negative for Drom Broadford. Not the best pass in the world, and it's mopped up by Newcastlewest. Good work from Damien Burke to win possession back though. Could have spelled a bit of trouble for this Drom Broadford side, and we're out to the far side again, and it's Sean O'Sullivan in possession for Drom Broadford. Looking at his options is O'Sullivan. Gets the ball back, but not much in front of him, it has to be said. Newcastlewest with plenty of numbers in defence. Just 2 players in the Drom Broadford half, as Garrett Noonan again tries to start something for Drom Broadford. Noonan has it. Derry McCarthy on the run, and off goes McCarthy. He's met by a couple of hefty challenges. The last one by Ian Corbett. McCarthy forced to come back to Killian Fahy. Hand pass to Noonan. Garrett Noonan now in possession. Forced back outside the Newcastlewest 45 metre line. And Noonan has it again from Derry McCarthy. He's got Quirk out here. Or Jack Pearce, I should say. Gets a low one into Brian Ahern. Good possession won by Brian Ahern this time. Ahern tries to put it down on top of Pearce again, but it's going to be defended easily enough again by Newcastlewest, who really started well in defence. As they now try to work an attack of their own, it's Ian Corbett wearing number 14, but operating around midfield or centre back to Sean Ivas. And it's Mike Quilligan Jr., the Newcastlewest goalkeeper, well off his line, but no danger at the moment as Corbett plays it out left. Comes back again to this near side. That's Mike O'Keefe now for Newcastlewest. Into the middle it goes. And it's Diarmuid Kelly now for Newcastlewest. Diarmuid Kelly's got Stephen Brosnan on his right flank. It's Brosnan now looking to deliver. Is it a good one into Stack? Doesn't get possession initially. It comes back to Stephen Brosnan again, and Brosnan's on the run. He's got a man on the inside. Chance maybe here for Newcastlewest. It's Diarmuid Kelly. In fact, it's not Diarmuid Kelly. Comes all the way back to Thomas Quilligan. 45 metres from goal. Has a pop, does Thomas Quilligan. Gone to the right and wide, but it's very noticeable that Newcastlewest, when they do get possession, they're moving it forward that bit quicker.
Yeah, look, they've had about 20% of the ball here, and they've still had about 3 shots. So, in fairness to them, Broadford, they are keeping possession well. But once Newcastlewest are getting set, like we know from previous years, they're a very hard team to break down. So they probably need, while they're getting possession, they probably need to move it a bit quicker.
Brian Hurley winning that kick out ahead of Jack Ryan, plays it back, and it's Shane Stack now for Newcastlewest. Is this the second point? Good effort from Stack, but just again to the left and wide. But the pressure isn't there from Drom Broadford, Matt, when Newcastlewest do have possession. Shots are coming that bit easier. Yeah,
despite the lack of possession, they certainly, as Pa says, have had more opportunities at goal. And certainly, you just look there in the last 2 passages of play, they look capable of opening the Drom Broadford defence.
10 and a half minutes played at McNeville Park in the Limerick Senior Football Championship clash between Newcastlewest and Drom Broadford on Limerick GATV. as the thunder gets louder and louder in front of us here in commentary position. But it's Newcastlewest leading 1 point to no score. As Killian Fahey takes a good mark there. It's Derry McCarthy now in possession. He's got options, 2 options on his left. The one comes to Jack Pearce, and it goes back to Derry McCarthy again. McCarthy under pressure from Brian Hurley. It's McCarthy in it, plays it back to, it's Killian Fahey. Eventually takes it from Dennis Donegan. It's Fahey now on the run. Good little change of pace initially, met with a couple of challenges, one of them from Sean Murphy, but it's Killian Fahey still on the run. Chance to level it. Shot is dropping around. James Molyneux gets a fist to it. Quick off his line though was Mike Quilligan Jr. Quilligan gets the pass away. Newcastlewest now ready to launch another attack. Dermy Kelly with possession. Kelly, hard man to stop, and he gets going. Plenty of pace, and he's running away from Damien Burke on the Drom Broadford side. Gets the hand pass away now. Shooting chance here for Newcastlewest. That's the second score of the game. It's the first score, I think, for Seamus Hurley. Is that got that one?
I think it was Ian Corbett that kicked it over.
Ian Corbett coming up. It was Ian Corbett with an excellent score. I just emphasise the point, Paran, in Newcastlewest, when they get into scoring positions, they're getting them that bit easier.
Yeah, look, that was a brilliant counter attack. There wasn't one time that they got slowed down, and Ian came, you could watch him go up the field. He was back defending 1 minute, and he's sprinting up the field the next to get that score and coming onto the ball hard. And Drum just have to make sure if they're attacking to get the ball dead and get reset again. Derry
McCarthy now with a ball into Brian Ahern. Just let it run past him to Brian Ahern. Didn't get clean possession of it. Good defending as well, it has to be said, back there.
Mike O'Keefe,
by Mike O'Keefe, a very experienced defender.
Look, Mike has read it for years and doesn't look like he's lost much of his pace either. And he usually gets tested marking the flyers and the opposite team. So while Brian Ahern does look lively, Mike is well able to keep him at the minute.
One of the best cornerbacks in the county by some distance is Newcastlewest in possession again. Hand passed over by Seamus Hurley. He's been fouled according to the referee, and it's going to be back now to Thomas Quilligan to take. Quilligan left footed pass into Dermy Kelly. Kelly has options, gets the easy one in front of him, and it's on the run again is Colm Foley. Back to Dermy Kelly now. Kelly left footed shot. Is this the third score? Looks to be dropping to the right and wide. Indeed it is. A little bit upset with that shot. Dermy Kelly may have had better options in front of him, Matt.
Yeah, probably better options and probably better execution in normal circumstances. But despite the possession statistics still being in Drum's favour, the shots on goal are still 6-1 in favour of Newcastlewest, which gives you an idea of the way the game is panning out. They're quite capable of opening that defence.
Yeah, Newcastlewest with a 2 point to no score lead here at Mick Neville Park in the opening game of this Limerick Senior Football Championships. All the way back to James Noonan it goes from Michael Ryan. It's Ryan that's going to take possession again for Drom Broadford. Michael Ryan now, 2 Newcastlewest defenders up against him under severe pressure straight away. Does well to get the ball away to Dennis Donegan, but Donegan under pressure as well, and it could be possession one for Newcastlewest. It eventually comes to Michael Ryan. Bit of luck for Drom Broadford. That's what they look to need at the moment, as their attacking threat hasn't come to the fore so far. Derry McCarthy coming back into midfield now to win possession. It's Garrett Noonan in space here on this left hand side, but it's Jack Ryan taking on Thomas Quilligan. Ryan now going inside the 45 metre line, still going. Jack Ryan gets it to Derry McCarthy. McCarthy looking to fashion the shooting chance, forced to go back to Killian Fahey, and it's now Jack Ryan again as they work it over to this left hand side. Eventually comes to Garrett Noonan in space. Now Noonan goes to run, tries to get it back onto his right hand side, comes to Killian Fahey. He's met by a couple of defenders from Newcastlewest point of view. Good turn from Brian Ahern, just unable to get the ball to hand though. Looked like he was trying to see where he was shooting straight away rather than getting possession. It's another attack goes a begging for Drom Broadford as Newcastlewest come away again. It's Colm Foley plays this to Hurley. Dermy Kelly now on the outside, and it's Thomas Quilligan wearing number 6. Good left footed pass in to Stack. Stack has it. He's got a man on the outside, or inside I should say. It's coming back to Stack again. Shooting chance for Newcastlewest. It's Shane Stack. That's a 3 point to nil lead now once again. 3 points as we come up to water break here with 15 minutes played. 3 points to no score, Matt, and looks very, very ominous for Drom Broadford even in this early stage.
Yeah, it's beginning to look ominous because certainly in the early stages the amount of possession and the amount of territory that Drom Broadford has, they failed to convert it. They failed to even register on the scoreboard. As you've said, we're down at the water break now, but we were just mentioning beforehand there about this the youth and the Drom Drom Broadford team, like there is a spattering of experience in there, and like on occasions such as this, with so many young players in there, it puts a huge onus on the like of Garrett Noonan, Seamus Brosnan, Cillian Fahey, and Derry McCarthy. Like they are the experienced bunch, and they would have to be looking to the young players would have to be looking to those to provide the leadership. I think we saw a small bit of it there because we had a bit of combo there between Garrett Noonan and Cillian Fahey, but you would have to say that as the game has gone on, particularly in the last 5 minutes, that Newcastlewest are exerting a certain level of mastery.
From Newcastlewest point of view, as Matt mentioned, they're well on top in this game, but it's more of the same for the rest of the half, really.
Yeah, look, in fairness, that last score kind of summed it up. It was a Drom Broadford attack that didn't kind of yield even a wide. I don't think that we've kicked a wide yet, not to mind the score, but worked it up the field. Shane Stack didn't take on the shot straight away, gave it to a teammate who didn't take on the shot straight away, back to Shane, who was in acres of space, and they slotted over the bar. So they're getting more players forward. They're more comfortable on the ball in the opposition half. Drom Broadford, in fairness, is very comfortable outside the 65 in Newcastlewest, but once it's gone in, to be fair to Brian Ahern, it's nearly always almost happening for him. But at the minute, the almost is dropping to Newcastlewest every time. He's just, the ball is weight slipping out of his hand, and Michael Keefe's getting a hand in. And just for the second score, ball into James Molyneux, like that could have ended up anywhere. But then I suppose they have to take advantage of their chances much more than Newcastlewest do.
Yeah, it's Newcastlewest comfortable with a 3-point lead here after the first water break at Mick Neville Park. Kick out to Garrett Noonan under pressure from Diarmuid Kelly. Noonan will do well to hold on to it. He's done well to get the ball into his hand, looking for support, eventually gets it over in that far corner. Dangerous ball across the 21. Now it's well caught back there by Brian Noonan for Drom Broadford to have the advantage of a free, but they're going to be able to work the ball out and maybe launch an attack. Badly in need of a score is this Drom Broadford side. Good run nonetheless from defence. That's Michael Ryan. He's been fouled. It's going to be maybe a talking to by Mike Sexton to Brian Hurley, I think it is, there on the Newcastlewest side. It is Brian Hurley. Just a little talking to, nothing serious, and it just will slap across the chest pad. Going to be a free every time.
It is, yeah, and I suppose it's one of those good fouls because they were breaking through and it gets them a chance to set up again. So here's Brian on the ball now.
Brian Ahern now has been the one threat in this Drom Broadford attack so far. Gets the hand pass to Derry McCarthy, but there's pressure immediately on it. No more advantage for Drom Broadford here. Referee Mike Sexton saying he's happy to leave it play. Was going to give a free, decided against it. Ball comes out now to Sean O'Sullivan. He's got Brian Ahern in front of him again. That's Brian Ahern now looking to start something there, under pressure quickly from Diarmuid Kelly. Good work from Ahern to hold on to possession, looking to make things happen. Having to come out though, out to midfield to try and make these things happen. It's Garrett Noonan. The ball comes back to for Drom Broadford. Switches play over to this near side. That's Damien Burke. Burke now looking for options. There isn't too much in front of him though. James Molyneux, and eventually given to Jack Ryan. Good step from Jack Ryan, taking on Seamus Hurley. Hand pass comes back again. That's Newcastlewest just continuing to get a hand in any time Drom Broadford tried to launch an attack. Poor hand pass though from Thomas Quilligan. Jack Ryan's on the run, gets the hand pass away. Shooting chance here. Is that the first score for Drom Broadford? Indeed it is. Brilliant finish from Jack Pearce with just what Drom Broadford needed, Matt.
Absolutely, certainly what they needed, and it was great work, and there was a patient built up, and it was Jack Ryan that had gone forward. He seems to be playing out the field here. He's nominated at full back, but it's a great start for Jack Pearce to get off the mark with his first score.
Yeah, lovely left-footed finish from Jack Pearce there. It's 3-1 now in favour of Newcastlewest as they launch an attack now, and it's Sean Ivas over on that far side wearing number 3. Ivas has Mike McMahon inside. It's the first time Mike McMahon has touched the ball since the throw-in. Tries to play it inside to Stack, and that Stack again does very, very well. In fact, it's not. That's Brian Hurley up there. In fact, looked like Stephen Stack, but it's Brian Hurley wins the 45. Mike McMahon's impact. It is the first time he's had the ball since the throw-in, but a very dangerous player, very experienced player.
Like we know from experience last year, and even the Dare game, he was the difference maker last year, and I suppose if he's not getting the ball inside, he can come out to midfield and get on it. And series experience, usually does the right thing with the ball. Like, and has been as much as we talk about the youth from Newcastlewest coming through, like he's been a massive part in the last couple of years. Like someone who in the group stages last year was hardly seen, and when it got to the knockout stages, he was the difference. Like, so he's certainly a big player for him.
One thing, Matt, as well, we're just noticing as this 45 or Shane Stack gets ready to take this 45s. The wind has picked up a little bit since the rain stopped.
It has. It certainly has. And if it would remove the thunder and all that goes with it, it would
We'd be happy enough.
Can't have everything,
it would be very welcome, but it seems to have abated somewhat.
It's Shane Stack kicking into the teeth of this wind in McNeville Park. It's a good strike from Shane Stack. Had the legs, but the accuracy, unfortunately, in this occasion goes to the right and wide. And we'll restart with a James Noonan kick out, but very tricky nights for place ball, Pat.
Yeah, look, it's easy from up here looking at things like that. Like, he struck out fairly well, to be fair to him, Shane. Like, and I suppose he's filling in the full forward line where Jamie Lee would have normally been playing, so it's big boots to fill.
Indeed it is. His kick out from Noonan goes long. Good work though, back in defence from Donegal Woods as well to get a fist of that and eventually win possession as Newcastlewest funnel the ball backwards yet again so they can rebuild an attack. It's inside to Thomas Quilligan. Ian Corbett now with possession for Newcastlewest. It's Mike O'Keefe now on the run. Maybe getting a nosebleed as he goes past the 65, plays it across to Stephen Brosnan. Brosnan shows the ball to Brian Hurley and comes back inside again. It's Brian Hurley now in possession for Newcastlewest. Kind of has a free roll operating everywhere. Dermot Kelly flicks it. Pass doesn't go to hand though. Hand pass, or a hand got into it by Sean Murphy. And it's Seamus Brosnan back there for Drom Broadford mopping things up. Back to Garrett Noonan. Noonan under a bit of pressure. Good work from Newcastlewest. And Matt, it's a thing that we've noticed very early on here in the first 17 or so minutes. Anytime a Drom Broadford player has possession in their own 21, he's met by two Newcastlewest men.
Absolutely, yeah. The Newcastlewest, they certainly cannot be faulted for their work rate. But I suppose when you look at the stats and look at 5 wides to 1 and looking at 3 scores to 1, I suppose it's the first game of the campaign, and players are coming off. We saw there exactly what Mike McMahon can do.
High ball in from Ian Corbett, trademark that we've seen many times over the years, in towards Mike McMahon. He just broke the ball down. I think it was Donegal Woods, was it, who got the...
I think it was Hurley. I could be wrong.
No, it's our own Hurley who got that one indeed. His second point of this evening's game. He was under pressure. He arrived on the spot when Mike McMahon flicked it down, kind of over his shoulder shot. Great finish.
Yeah, like from that distance, like again, Mike was being tackled by 3 fellas. Really there, you have to put pressure on the ball coming in, because once the ball's in the air, there's very little you can do about it.
It's a great score for Newcastlewest. Restores their 3-point lead. We're going to have a free for Drom Broadford now. It's Garrett Noonan that's looking at his options, and a lot of the times for Drom Broadford the options up front aren't just really there. Newcastlewest getting many numbers back in defence as Derry McCarthy now tries to lift something for Drom Broadford. Good work there from Seamus Hurley back there, just stood his ground, and Derry McCarthy goes back another 20 yards. And we'll restart again with Brian Noonan over to that far side again. It's Sean O'Sullivan now in possession. O'Sullivan, bit of room in front of him. Gets the hand pass over on that outside. Now there's a bit of space for Drom Broadford to attack. Shooting chance for Drom Broadford. It's well to the left and wide if it's kept in. He's done well to keep that in. In fact, as Jack Pearce did very well. The shot was poor and comes back to Killian Fahey. He's got Jack Ryan behind him. Probably his best option. Gets the hand pass away. Chance for Jack Ryan now. Maybe that bit far. Just goes sideways again to Derry McCarthy, and Drom Broadford will have to start again. Newcastlewest getting numbers back again only 2 inside the Drom Broadford half, as Killian Fahey has possession now for Drom Broadford. He's going to go along with it, looking for Brian O'Hearn. O'Hearn catches it. Great turn immediately from Brian O'Hearn. Shooting chance, and that's an excellent score. Arguably the score of the game, Matt. Great work, great patience on this occasion. The right man with the ball in possession to deliver into Killian Fahey, and a brilliant take and finish from Brian O'Hearn.
Well, we have known in the past anyway, John, that one thing Drom Broadford don't do is panic, and I suppose a byword for Drom Broadford football is patience, and we saw it there in abundance. And Brian O'Hearn will be absolutely delighted to get his score off. Great work on a couple of occasions there by Killian Fahey, showing all his experience.
Great work from Drom Broadford to reduce Newcastlewest advantage to 2 points. 4 points to 2 in favour of the 2020 Limerick Senior Football Champions. Low one, and I think he slipped. Ian Corbett there was having a shot. Doesn't go to hand. Chance of a goal. Huge mistake in the Drom Broadford defence, and it's a goal for Newcastlewest. And against a team like Newcastlewest, you can't afford to make mistakes like that in defence.
No, like they're too good to be getting soft goals handed to them like that. Like it was just a handling error. That's what it was. It was like a very speculative shot for me, and he'd wanted it back again. But like when you're saying it lands into a Broadford hand, and then bad handling, and it lands to, was it Owen Hurley?
Yeah, it was Owen Hurley.
Like the edge of the small box. Like he wasn't going to miss that. Like a disaster after Drom had come so much back into the game.
Huge goal in the context of this game. The kick out and Newcastlewest winning possession again. There's a trip back there on Donncha Woods, I think it was, and it's going to be a free to Newcastlewest. And Ian Corbett now just trying to play it inside to Shane Stack. It's won back there by Jack Ryan from Drom Broadford, and they'll come away again. Has to be a knock to their confidence though, Matt. They've just done well to reduce the lead to 2 points.
Yeah, well, of course, Ian Corbett is playing to what is their strengths now, in that he's lofting the ball into Big Mike, who's inside, and we can see now in the last 2 attacks it has yielded a goal and a point.
That's Drom Broadford with Derry McCarthy now looking for an immediate response. Gets the hand pass away to Brian Ahern. He's shown his pace already as Brian Ahern. Is he going for it? He goes for a goal. Brilliant finish. Brian Ahern, excellent work initially, but has the goal stood?
Yeah.
The goal has stood. Referee Mike Sexton was calling, I think it was Ian Corbett, back for a late hit on Derry McCarthy, but that's an absolutely stupendous finish from Brian Ahern.
Yeah, like a serious, I think somebody was saying like that he is like an accomplished soccer player, Brian, like, and you could see that was a serious like soccer player style finish. He's very lively. Like we were saying at the start, things weren't falling his way for the first quarter, we'll say, but he's 1-1 on the board now in the last 5 minutes, and a badly needed response to that Newcastlewest goal. Really good finish. First time seeing him live now, and he's been a really good player.
Yeah, I saw him last year, and I was very impressed with him at under 21 level, but it was under 21B level. But again, it's the way he's making himself available, and the way he made himself available from the pass. And once he got it, and once he got a sniff of goal, there was only one target that he was aiming for, and that was the back of the net. And the execution was perfection. Yeah,
very, very impressive stuff from Brian Ahern. We have a 2-point game yet again. 2 quick fire goals. First one for Newcastlewest and Owen Hurley, and immediately responded by Drom Broadford and Brian Ahern. 1-4 in favour of Newcastlewest to Drom Broadford's 1-2, and it's Ian Corbett. What do you think, Matt? Did he pick up a yellow card there for that late hit? We'll get that confirmed at half time anyway, as Newcastlewest on the attack again with Brian Hurley. Hurley now assessing his options, going to have to go up that left hand side, but Brian Ahern putting him under pressure. Back to Seamus Hurley. Hand pass goes again as Newcastlewest on the attack again. Crossfield ball in towards Shane Stack. Stack has it. Shooting chance. In fact, it's Owen Hurley again. Brilliant work from Owen Hurley. He didn't try and catch the ball, just flicked it down to himself. Great ball in, it has to be said as well, and another emphatic finish.
Yeah, look, he's shown his strength there now. In fairness, the ball coming in, he didn't try and go up and win it. He just made sure that his body position, that he was going to win it and be able to turn. I suppose defensively, you just don't sell yourself. Like if he's going to win it, don't dive into it. But to be fair to him, he must have 2-2 scored at this stage on Hurley. Like, and he's back to what he was playing last year, which was really deadly inside forward for Newcastlewest.
And a bit of a warning for everyone else in the county as well. You can't give Owen Hurley that type of space. If you do, that's what happens, and it's 2-4 now to 1-2 in favour of Newcastlewest all of a sudden again. Drom Broadford being punished for every mistake back there. And against a team like Newcastlewest, you can't afford them kind of mistakes. As Drom Broadford trying to go up again, it's Brian Ahern, a very, very lively Brian Ahern here. Everything good going through him at the moment. He's fouled again. You're going to see that more and more from Newcastlewest, and you can bet your bottom dollar as well, Matt and Pa, it's going to be a different man fouling him every time.
Yeah, he's a light young player, and we just see a cameo there of how he's able to mix it, and certainly he won that free very well.
He gives the ball into James Molyneux as well. Molyneux unable to get the ball into his hand though. More evidence of the slippy conditions. Dermot Kelly picks the loose ball into Sean Ivis. Ivis has Ian Corbett on his left shoulder. Gives it to Corbett. Corbett has Mike McMahon in front of him. Gives it to Mike McMahon. Turns back inside. Flicks it inside. Does Mike McMahon. A chance now. It's definitely Stack on this occasion in possession. Plays the ball back to Dermot Kelly. Again, deliberate now from Newcastlewest as Dermot Kelly hand passes inside. Wasn't onto the run as Sean Ivis. Has a go though as Ivis. Well stopped on the line from James Noonan. A difficult ball to deal with. And Drom Broadford can breathe a sigh of relief as the ball goes to the hand this time, and they're going to try and work it out of the fence yet again with Brian Noonan. Noonan now to Killian Fahy. Fahy under pressure straight away by his inter-county teammate. He's been fouled by, wasn't Ian Corbett in fact,
Sean Murphy, I think.
Yeah, it was Sean Murphy, midfielder. Just got another flick on the hand, slowing
Yeah.
everything down, deliberate foul.
Yeah. Whether it's a plan or not, like it definitely helps when you've turned the ball over in the opposition's half and they're breaking out, like so, and it definitely helps if it's a different person every time, like so. Look, they're the rules and you play them the way they're played, like, and it does help you defensively.
Seamus Brosnan now under pressure from Sean Murphy. You want to be careful with the referee. There'll be a card coming his way for the next one as Killian Fahey takes possession for Drom Broadford. All the way out to this near side, right in front of us too. Jack Ryan doesn't gather it initially. Second attempt, gets it into his hand and gets the hand pass away to Dennis Donegan. Fouled by Thomas Quilligan, just pulled him back, and Donegan takes this one quickly. Derry McCarthy under pressure, decides to play it over to that right hand side, and Sean O'Sullivan for Drom Broadford. O'Sullivan gets it off to Derry McCarthy. Maybe a shooting chance for McCarthy. Opts against it. Decides to come back in towards the middle to Killian Fahey. Fahey inside long to James Molyneux. Molyneux, if he can catch it, there's danger. He can't catch it done. Newcastlewest are back in numbers. And away they come with Stephen Brosnan. It was Brosnan that actually flicked it away from the possession of Molyneux and is cleared long by Ian Corbett. Looks to pick out Brian Hurley, and it's a good take from Hurley. Plays it up the same line towards Shane Stack. Stack now brings the ball into himself for possession before he comes back outside at 21. Back to Brian Hurley. Darren McKelly is his nearest option. It comes to Darren McKelly. Slow to work it across the field. Eventually it comes and it's Ian Corbett. Now this could spell danger for Drom Broadford. Corbett goes for the shot outside the right boot. It'd be a trademark. Is it over the bar? It absolutely is. Stunning score from Ian Corbett, Pat. We've seen that one many times over the years, and he's showing no sign of giving that shot up.
Yeah, like all the good players, he's that trademark, like that. Sean Kavanagh has his step, like with Ian Corbett outside of the boot, middle of the goals, like you're taking that nine and a half times out of 10. It's heading over the black spot. But again, you just showed there, ball inside the Broadford line just didn't stick. 2 kick passes and they're inside the Broadford in 13, not the mine half. Like, in fairness, that's good football if you can deliver the ball and deliver it again in your inside, and then you've players following through. But it's just that bit easier from up there. They're not wasting time. Once it goes in there, they've got runners off it and they're getting easier shots off it, and that's why they have the 9-point lead.
Yeah, very impressive
lead,
stuff from Newcastlewest. The jostling over there. I think there's a yellow card for Donegal Woods, and his marker over there. We'll try and get that confirmed as quickly as possible as James Noonan will get us back underway. Goes short again, but that's half time here at Mick Neville Park, and it's Newcastlewest in a very commanding lead, 2-5 to 1-2 to lead Drom Broadford. Matt O'Callaghan, you know, Drom Broadford did well to come back a couple of times there, but it comes that you're up against the champions, and that's what can happen when you make mistakes.
Absolutely, and you know, I think Mike Fahey will probably be pleased to a certain degree. Certainly he won't be pleased to be 6 points down, and but certainly they started brightly. But you know, Newcastlewest's revival and Newcastlewest taking control, I suppose it coincided a bit with Ian Corbett thundering into the game, because he was very central in things for the last 15 minutes. It's a long road back for Drom Broadford, and if you were to look at the Drom Broadford bench and see what changes, if any, that Mike Fahey and his backroom team might be inclined to make, like you'd have to say it's an inexperienced bench, apart from Kevin Noonan, who can take a score or two. We saw in last year's championship. Big Michael O'Sullivan, who would probably be in you know, a target man such as Michael McMahon is for Newcastlewest, or if they were to bring in Paul Madigan, who would bring a huge amount of energy around the middle of the field. You know, he certainly has a lot of thinking to do if he's to rescue this game. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to do so. I think Newcastlewest are ahead on merit. Maybe the scoreboard is slightly unkind to Drom Broadford, but certainly the better team are leading at half time.
And in that half time, it's Newcastlewest 2-5, Drom Broadford 1-2. A lot for Drom to do to get back into this game. Join us for the second half shortly. Welcome back to Mick Neville Park here, where it's Newcastlewest leading Drom Broadford 2-5 to 1-2 after the first opening half hour. Paranan, a huge step for Drom Broadford to try and come back.
Yeah, I suppose they say in Aussie rules the third quarter is the championship quarter, and it's massive for Drom Broadford here. Whatever about cutting the deficit, they certainly can't be behind by any more than 6 at the end of this quarter.
It's Drom Broadford with the initial chance here to attack over on that left hand side, and it's Jack Ryan wearing number 3 but playing further up the field for Drom Broadford. Plays it across the middle to Sean O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan hand passes to Garrett Noonan. Is that not? It's Dennis Donegan. Donegan plays it out to Damien Burke, and it's Damien Burke now. Again, not much in front of him by way of options. Eventually comes back to Dennis Donegan, but he's just stepping back inside to more traffic. Now it's Noonan. But they're going to have to move the ball a lot quicker, Pat.
Yeah, it's kind of feeding into what Newcastlewest would love, like contact. They just love contact. But in fairness, Cillian Fahey's the one that's making the line breaks. Derry, for the first goal they got, made a break. So it's those two really are looking at to break down that line when they get the ball.
It's back though, back just in front of their own 65, and it's Derry McCarthy in possession once again for Drom Broadford. Again, the options are poor, and he has to go backwards yet again to Garrett Noonan, maybe injecting a bit of pace this time. He's their number 7. That's Seamus Brosnan. Brosnan gets the ball away, but it doesn't go to Drom Broadford, and it was Brian Ahern trying to win it for Drom Broadford, but it's Newcastlewest in possession yet again. And away they come. Slick use of the hands again by Newcastlewest. And it's Hurley in possession for them. Out comes Mike McMahon. McMahon, right-footed pass in, tries to switch play. And it's Owen Hurley. 2-2 for Owen Hurley in that first half in fine form. Gets the hand pass away. It's not the best of ones though for Thomas Quilligan, pushing the back on the Drom Broadford defender. But that, Matt, is kind of tells the story of the game. Newcastlewest moving the ball a lot quicker through the lines.
Absolutely. They were Drom Broadford there had possession for a minute or two, and I don't know how many hands it went through, but they didn't gain a single yard. They didn't even break the line or make an attempt to do it. It was all lateral play, and that suits Newcastlewest. If you're 6 points up,
all day long Newcastlewest will take that as Dennis Donegan takes possession for Drom Broadford. Donegan again forced across rather than forward. Good work from the Newcastlewest side all over the park, working very hard each time Drom Broadford man has possession. Cillian Fahey gives it over to that far side now, and they're forced to come backwards yet again. It's Damien Burke now. And pass back to Brian Noonan. Noonan left-footed pass. It's a 50-50 ball. In fact, it's not. It's 70-30 towards Newcastlewest, and Brian Hurley has it. Plays it inside to Colm Foley. Quick one from Brian Hurley now, and it's a chance for Shane Stack. Stack shooting, chance for Shane Stack. Waves the wand of the right foot. Excellent score from Shane Stack. It just reinforces Matt O'Callaghan's point. Does it ran in that the second Newcastlewest have a chance to shoot, they move it quickly, and it's a score.
Yeah, whatever about kicking a wide against them or putting a score and getting set up there, you cannot turn the ball over, especially at halfway, because they just break so quickly, move the ball so quickly, and they're a real force when that happens.
Yeah, Derry McCarthy taking a good mark here, and it's Cillian Fahey now in possession. Fahey tries to deliver, be looking for Brian Ahern. It's a good ball. Ahern has already shown what he can do. Needs a goal here. Drom Broadford plays it across. Doesn't really go to the man he wanted to. Maybe better trying to pick that one rather than trying to soccer pass across. But either way, Newcastlewest defended, and away they come again. There's space here in front of Brian Hurley, and Brian Hurley has options in front of him as well. One of them is Dear McKelly, but plays it back inside Will Hurley. And it's Colm Foley now, just slowing everything down again for Newcastlewest. Ian Corbett. Corbett has options out on the right hand side. And it's easy as you like for Newcastlewest here in the opening stages, as Stephen Brosnan takes this one. Thomas Quilligan, good left footed pass inside from Thomas Quilligan. Chance for Seamus Hurley now to run. It's into Ian Corbett. Corbett takes one step to the right, beats Cillian Fahey with it. Is that a score? It is indeed. Excellent work from Ian Corbett. Matt, and Newcastlewest are really starting to show their worth.
Absolutely. It shows that the contrast, as we have said a couple of times, about moving the ball fast, and they moved it fast out of defence, got it up. Ian Corbett got the scoring chance, sniff it goal over the bar.
Yeah, brilliant work from Corbett. 2-7 to 1-2 now. Newcastlewest lead here in the early stages of this second half. Drom Broadford needs something drastic, and they need it very fast here. Possession now for Seamus Brosnan. Brosnan has options in front of him, but he can't do anything with it. Ball goes out over the sideline. Good work again from Newcastlewest. And Pat, all Newcastlewest have to do from now on till the end of the game is keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, like they don't have to, like you said, they don't have to do anything different. They just have to kind of sit back and invite them onto it. Like, and I suppose if you're Drom Broadford, you probably need to commit a few more bodies to the ball, and when it's on the sideline, get it off the sideline, because you're at nothing really playing Newcastlewest when you're trying to break down that.
Darren McKelly leaves the ball off to Brian Hurley as Newcastlewest go on the attack against Brian Hurley, capable of putting this one over the bar. Has he done just that? He hasn't. Just tailed to the left and wide at the end. And Brian Hurley, Matt O'Callaghan, a very industrious performance so far. Unfortunately for him there, went to the left and wide, but an all-round very good performance.
Yeah, overall very, very good. But you can see that Newcastlewest in the second half, and it's 5-6 minutes old. Like they seem to be moving up through the gears, and I fear for Drom Broadford at this stage that Newcastlewest could be about to draw away.
Yeah, it's all too easy from Newcastlewest. It's been that way for a long while. As Donica Woods plays this one in towards Mike McMahon, can't get the ball into the hand initially, but does well to flick it up now under pressure from Brian Noonan. Gets the hand pass back though, and they'll work it slowly again across the middle. Will Newcastlewest. It's Ian Corbett now on the run. Corbett gets the hand pass away. It's Darren McKelly. Shooting chance for Darren McKelly. It's definitely in his radar. Is it accurate enough? Indeed it is. Brilliant score from Darren McKelly, and just further evidence of Newcastlewest dominance in the game and the golfing class between the two sides.
Yeah, and to be fair, like it's very easy for them to start taking pot shots now, but they're not. They're waiting until they get dead centre in front of the goal, it's top of the D, whether it's Darren McKelly, whether it's Ian Corbett, whether it's Hurley. Like, they're not being selfish with it. They're drawn into the Drom Broadford defenders, freeing up that man to take the shot, and like most of the scores they've gotten this half are just loads of time, can settle back and kick it, so it's impressive stuff from them.
Indeed it is. Newcastlewest now leading 2-8 to 1-2 here against Drom Broadford. It's Killian Fahy now trying to do something for Drom Broadford, but there's a lot to do as Derry McCarthy goes and run. It was a good run off the shoulder by Derry McCarthy. Chance for Derry McCarthy, decides to put it into James Mullen. Says shooting chance for Mullen, goes for the goal. He's been pushed as he kicked it though. And do we have a penalty? Is it a 21 metre free? Wasn't inside the 14. It's going to be a free in. But that's the kind of speed that Drom Broadford have to attack at, Matt.
Yeah, that is what we would need to see more of it from Drom Broadford, and like they can see the effect of it when they did move it fast into James Mullen. Like, I suppose it was really a goal scoring chance, you'd have to say, but he probably cooked it a bit too much to the left, unfortunately. Something that will come with experience, but he certainly is a very promising player, James Mullen.
Very impressive for Limerick in the under-20 Munster Championship this year, as Brian Ahern makes no mistake with this one. That's going to make it 2-8 to 1-3 in favour of Newcastlewest here at McNeville Park. But it's all been too easy for the current county champions here. It's Mike Quilligan I should say, in absolutely no rush to take this kick out. Looking at his options, goes short, easy as you like. Colm Foley back to Sean Ivers, who gives it to Foley again. Hand pass across to that far side. Again, it's going to be a slow build up for Newcastlewest, building from the back, not taking any risks with the kickouts as Mike O'Keefe takes possession out to that far side again, played along the line, looking for Thomas Quilligan is Stephen Brosnan. The Drom Broadford hand initially they thought got to it, but referee Mike Sexton disagrees with me and gives it to Drom Broadford. Has he been overruled? Just waiting here, Pat. 50-50 call.
Well, I suppose you'll always call for it anyways. That's your ball, like. But that looked like it was good defending. Like, usually these things end in a throw ball when linesman and referee don't agree. But it looks like Derry's on it anyway, so he's not giving it away. Just for that last chance that Drom Broadford got, it was probably like you can see that Seamus Hurley's been given a task of picking up Derry. And like when you're playing against a team when like Drom Broadford, who have Derry as a marquee player, they've obviously marked him out, but it was the one time that Seamus hadn't picked him and they got joy out of it, so he's a threat.
It's on the run now again for Drom Broadford. It is Derry McCarthy. Skies this one though, could be dangerous as the rain continues to fall back there. It's well done by Brian Hurley again though. He's kind of has a free roll as well. He's been all over the park for Newcastlewest here in both the first half and the early stages of this second half, as Ian Corbett plays it to Thomas Quilligan. The rain pelting down here now at McNeville Park again as Corbett delivers. It goes long, gets a flick to it to Shane Stack. Now there's a chance here for Owen Hurley. Owen Hurley looks for the hand pass into Darren McKelly off his right foot. Not as strong as his left foot on this occasion. It tails to the right and wide, but every time Newcastlewest get even beyond their own 65, Matt O'Callaghan, it's a quick ball somewhere, and they're looking to give it direct as well.
Yeah, give it direct, and like they have a shot, and certainly the finishers were on fire for the first 7 or 8 minutes of the half, and that's the first one that has gone astray. But certainly they're certainly making progress through that defence and doing it at pace.
Yeah, they are, and potential Drom Broadford attack scuppered yet again here. It's Brian Hurley in possession. Hurley on the run now. Danger maybe here for Newcastlewest as it's given inside to Colm Foley. Foley decides not to have a shoot from long range, gives it to Thomas Quilligan instead. Quilligan tries to find Owen Hurley. Garrett Noonan just does enough to get something on it, and it's going to be picked up over on that far side by Jack Pearce, who's down as a corner forward, but he's kind of has a more defensive role. Drom Broadford, as Pat Ranahan mentioned a couple of moments ago, need to start committing players forward if they've any hope of getting back into this game. It's 2-8 to 1-3 the trail as Sean O'Sullivan goes on the run here from Drom Broadford, immediately met by Ian Corbett and Shane Stack on that occasion. One of them adjudged by referee Mike Sexton to have fouled O'Sullivan, and Killian Fahy with a free for Drom Broadford. Like we're talking about desperate stages really here for Drom Broadford at this stage. You know, they have to start being more direct maybe.
Yeah, and it's hard obviously because Newcastlewest don't have to commit bodies to the ball carriers. They can sit in front of their full back line. So as a situation in the game, it's the worst possible for Drom Broadford because they're playing a team who are good at counter-attacking that they want to push up on. But if they do, like, the scoreline could get away from a lot quickly. Like, I suppose, when do you decide, okay, well, we need to start taking a chance? At the minute, like, outside of that one chance for maybe James, there hasn't been many.
8-point deficit that Drom Broadford are going to have to try and claw back. It's Newcastlewest that are first to everything at the moment. It's Diarmuid Kelly yet again. Gets the hand pass away to Seamus Hurley. Chance over on that far side. Comes back to Thomas Quilligan. Has Diarmuid Kelly. Kelly tries to kick across it. Is it over the bar on this occasion? It's gone to the left and wide. That's a few wides in a row for Diarmuid Kelly and Newcastlewest. But Matt, it's not making much of a difference as Newcastlewest make their first change.
No, it's not making much of a difference, but he will be disappointed with that because Diarmuid Kelly is a pretty clinical finisher, as we have seen up through the grades at mine and under 21 and recently at senior level. He certainly will be disappointed because that was a clear-cut chance that he would normally take.
Yeah, and it's Diarmuid Kelly I think now is the man to have departed the scene here, and it's Cian Sheehan on for Newcastlewest, and it doesn't weaken this Newcastlewest team in any way.
Absolutely not. Like, Cian's supposed to be flying it, only for a knock he would have started the game. So I think Mike McMahon's gone off for Brian Foley as well, who's another, like, I would have known Brian up along, like, a real intelligent footballer, does a lot of the right things in the ball, like, so it certainly doesn't get any easier.
No, Newcastlewest able to spring very talented players from their bench. Of course, they still have Brian Nix on the bench as well, who was vital in beating Ballysteen last year in the county quarter-final. Pat Ranahan, Jack Neville won't like me mentioning that, but that's the reality that faced Ballysteen last year. Of course, they play the losers of this game next week in the other round game. As Drom Broadford now in possession with Seamus Burke to Garrett Noonan, over to that far side again, Sean O'Sullivan. But again, Newcastlewest have started to push up a little bit on them, making things a little bit more difficult even again. They've every one of their 15 behind the ball at the moment. As Garrett Noonan now has it, has to go long eventually. He's looking for Brian Ahern, 50-50 ball, and Mike O'Keefe will take that all day long as the hand pass goes now, and it's Cian Sheehan in possession straight away here for Newcastlewest. The hand pass goes in front of Brian Foley. Brian Foley wearing number 2 but operating inside the full forward line since he come on. It's Cian Sheehan has it again. Sheehan gets the hand pass away to Brian Hurley. Hurley looking for a second point of the half. There was a block on it by a Drom Broadford defender. It's going to go for a 45, but again, Matt O'Callaghan's fine football from this Newcastlewest side.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, it's coming to the stage that the type of football they have been played and the type of dominance they have enjoyed is not being reflected on the scoreboard because, like, there was 3 wides there on the trot, and now that was a lucky block down, you would have to say, because it seemed to be destined, I'd say, for over the bar.
Taking quickly here now, Shane Stack with the shooting chance for Newcastlewest. It's gone to the left and wide now, and a bit sloppy from Newcastlewest in the last 10 minutes or so. There's a bit of confusion over that one. The umpire certainly waved it wide. There's a discussion going to happen between Mike Sexton and his 2 umpires here Pa, what do you reckon?
It's the classic though. Who gets to make the call? Like Mike Sexton put his hand up. There was a point. An umpire inside that side of the goal who said it's wide. Like who gets to? I suppose the referee at the end of the day is the one who makes the call, and he's probably going in here telling him, "I thought it was over." Anyway, see whether put your hand up.
And it looks like the point is going to be given for Shane Stack. Indeed it is. The white flag is raised. 2-9 now to 1-3 in favour of Newcastlewest, and they're heading for a very, very comfortable win here by the looks of things, Pat.
Yeah, it's kind of we did say about the third quarter, and unfortunately, it's like Matt has said, it could be a lot worse. Like it's only for Newcastlewest a few missed chances. Like it could be, but I suppose Broadford will be looking for something towards next week now and finishing strong, getting something out of the game that they can take into next week.
Yeah, indeed they do, or indeed they'll hope to. Anyways, free given by Mike Sexton, and Drom Broadford with a free on that far side, hoping to get something from this game now, as Pat Ranahan mentioned, just a bit of a confidence boost somehow going into next weekend. And Sean O'Sullivan now in possession for Drom Broadford. Rain continues to pour here in Rathkeale as Garrett Noonan takes possession for Drom Broadford. Shot from Damien Burke, drops it inside, looking for James Molyneux, looking for breaking chance here. Shot, brilliant save from Mike Quilligan. The shot came in from Drom Broadford and Graham Roach. It's good work initially from Damien Burke, gave the high ball across. James Molyneux did well to break it down, Matt, but the shot from Graham Roach brilliantly stopped by Mike Quilligan.
Yeah, again it showed what they can do by moving it in there, and again James Molyneux was involved in breaking it down. I suppose Graham Roach did everything right, and it was a top draw save from Mike Quilligan.
Yeah, but in saying that, he's clean through and goes 10 yards out. Keeper does everything he can to stop it, but you have to be taking them kind of chances.
Yeah, you do. Like when if you give Drom Broadford that goal, which they should have got, and take away the goal they would have handed to Newcastlewest the first half. Like I know it's easy to say it now, things don't always follow on, but like it's a 3-point game after that, and like James is definitely a threat inside there. The ball hasn't fallen for him maybe today. Wet ball mightn't suit him as much, but he's definitely a threat in full forward. Like so, it's definitely something going forward that teams playing Drom Broadford will have to mind for, and Drom Broadford obviously will try and make hay out of.
Effort from the 45 from Brian Ahern going to the left and wide. Matt, we're looking at Newcastlewest here. We've talked about Drom Broadford at length already, but they're looking like the team to beat again, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. I suppose particularly once they settled into the game, they were a bit sloppy at the start, and I suppose you could accuse them of being a bit sloppy there in part of the third quarter when they put up 4 wides. But we said at half time it was a long road back for Drom. It's a much longer road at this stage, and I suppose Pa there beside you will be taking great note for Ballysteen for next week. Probably happy with what he's seen, that Ballysteen will probably get off to a winning way next week. But Drom need to find something in the last quarter of an hour to give him something to take out of the game and carry over onto the next week. But from what we've seen in the 15 or 16 minutes of the second half so far, I cannot honestly see where it's going to come from.
And the other game at the moment going Adair of Newcastlewest, obviously in the last couple of years being the dominant teams. Adair leading the Piercing 3-10 to 1-4, so it's very much looking like Adair and Newcastlewest are the teams to beat even in the early stages of this championship.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's early days. Last year I suppose we saw Ula coming from nowhere. Like, is there some team out there that are going to come from nowhere this year? I don't really know, but certainly the early signs are that the clubs that have shared the last 3 county titles between them, like they're going to be front runners again this year. But we did say earlier on that it is a different structured championship, and like teams have to be at it from the off. Like the thing that you could sort of amble through the first 2 games and then hit the ground running for the last 3 games after a 3-month break, that's not the case at all. It's from the get-go this time.
Yeah, it's the end of the water break now. We're going to restart with a Newcastlewest kick-out. Following that, Brian Ahern wide from the 45. That's Newcastlewest very much dominant in this opening round game of the Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship. Brought to you live and exclusively on Limerick GAA TV in association with the Kirby Group. It's Newcastlewest, as I said, 2-9 to 1-3 in front, as Mike Quilligan takes this one short to Mike O'Keefe. And they work it, hand pass into Seamus Hurley and back to O'Keefe again. It's just all too easy all over the park for Newcastlewest throughout this game. Hand pass down the line now for Sheehan, right footed pass by Sheehan into the middle. That's Colm Foley has it for Newcastlewest. Ian Corbett now 45 metres out, opts for the hand pass inside, gets the return ball as Corbett. Well defended though by Drom Broadford on that occasion. Comes back to Shane Stack. And Owen Hurley spots a free man inside. Chance here for Newcastlewest. Do they get the score on this occasion? They don't. It's gone to the right and wide. And Pat, that's the one thing Mike Quilligan will say to them after this game. Got to start working on your shooting a bit more.
Yeah, and that's Brian Nix that's into the fray there that had that shot. Like, he'd be disappointed with that because he's usually fairly deadly. But yeah, like you were talking about improvements, like they've had a few, the scores they left behind them. They've still 2-9 put up on the board with 12-13 minutes left, so as a football score they've certainly put up enough to win the game already, but if you're looking for improvements, they're shooting, but that's about it for improvements. Yeah,
Liam McCartan is also on the Newcastlewest side in the full forward line by the looks of things, as James Noonan comes out with possession for Drom Broadford. A couple of Newcastlewest switches there during the water break. James Noonan out that bit far, gets it to Garrett Noonan, and the hand pass comes out towards Damien Burke taking that hand pass from Dennis Donegan. Burke, who's had a good game for Drom Broadford, very industrious anytime he's come near the possession. Great work off the ball, as well as Derry McCarthy tries now for Drom Broadford inside again. McCarthy comes off the shoulder, does well, tries to deliver outside the right foot, pass into James Molyneux, does well to keep it in play and get possession. James Molyneux now on the run, shooting chance for James Molyneux. Is that over the bar? It's not, it's gone to the left and wide, but much more like it for Drom Broadford. Even in the late stages, the game might be gone, Matt, but they're not dropping the heads.
No, they're not dropping the heads, and that was certainly very, very encouraging, and really they would have done with that point. Now, I suppose it was a bit hopeful because it was from a very, very awkward angle, but had it gone over, it certainly would have provided some bit of inspiration for the last 10 minutes. But it's very interesting, and Pam mentioned it at the very outset about the loss of Jamie Lee, who's gone, but like to have Cian Sheehan coming in, it's very much a one for one. It's a huge boost.
Yeah, James Kelly's also on as Ian Corbett tries another shot here for Newcastlewest. Is it over the bar? Indeed it is, by Ian Corbett. A trademark score, we mentioned it in the first half, but can't give Ian Corbett that type of time and space.
No, and it came from a very good kick out from Mike. Like the Drom Broadford had pushed up on it, and Newcastlewest had found a spare man in the middle of the field. And again, when they're going, they all tend to go, and they're not taking the wrong options. They're shooting from the right areas. That's Ian's second or third score in the game. Like, so, it's relentless enough from him.
Substitution on the Drom Broadford side as well as Jack Pearce has gone off. Just waiting to see who's on for Jack Pearce. Definitely him that's left, as Liam McCartan has it now for Newcastlewest. Plays it back to James Kelly. Kelly hand pass inside to Cian Sheehan. Shooting chance for Cian Sheehan. That one tails to the left and wide though, unfortunately, from a Newcastlewest point of view. But Matt, 10-point lead for Newcastlewest. They're more than full value for it.
A 10-point lead, but their wides tally is mounting up now. It will be plenty of ammunition for Mike Quilligan and Brendan Guiney when they take him back to the training field. Like that, they have shot 11 wides, which like they'll probably get away with it in an evening like this. But like when you meet much sterner opposition, certainly cannot afford to be that wayward in the shooting.
James Noonan with the kick out straight down the middle. Newcastlewest get to it first, but it falls to Killian Fahey initially. And Drom Broadford with Derry McCarthy holding on to possession. Low one from McCarthy, doesn't go to hand. And James Kelly with the flick inside to Ian Corbett. Ball in from Ian Corbett. It's defended well back there, it has to be said. It's Michael Ryan back there, I think, for Drom Broadford. Gets the hand pass away, it's done very well. In fact, it wasn't. It was good work from Brian Noonan back there from Drom Broadford's point of view. It's a low pass there, and Newcastlewest just out in front again. That one stays in. It looked like they've gone out, both teams claiming that it had, but it's going to be Damien Burke for Drom Broadford that holds on to possession. Gets the hand pass away to Killian Fahey. In front of Burke again. He's got Killian Fahey on his left shoulder. Doesn't opt to go for him. Works it backwards to Dennis Donegan, and Dennis Donegan, Brian Ahern calling loud for it, but Donegan's gone on his own. Dennis Donegan, good run from the Drom Broadford number 8, shooting chance for Dennis Donegan. It's not a good effort though from the midfielder, but referee Mike Sexton says there was a foul, playing advantage, and we're going to have a free for Drom Broadford.
Brian Ahern is probably feels he hasn't gotten enough this half of the ball, given what he did with it in the first half. But again, Newcastlewest thought the same thing, so they obviously realised that, okay, if we can keep this full out of the game for long spells, then we're really helping ourselves out here. That's, to be fair, that's what they've been good at over the years. During the matches, they're able to adapt to see what the other team were doing well, and they've definitely kept him out of this game the second half.
It's Derry McCarthy with a short free. There's two men on the aforementioned Brian Ahern. He's got a bit of work in front of him here to get anything. He's done well, very well indeed, to get a free there. Not sure of the legality of the dive through the tackle, but either way it's going to be a free, and James Molyneux's going to come out to take it. It'll be James Molyneux's first score of the game if he can pop it over. But he's a very promising player for both from Broadford and Limerick.
Yeah, I know James from a couple of years with Limerick, he's definitely, the talent is unquestionable, and he's obviously, looking at him, he's about 6'4", 6'5", so there isn't too many players on Limerick football with that ability and that height, and he does seem to be putting his shoulder to the wheel a lot. Even things aren't going well in this game for him, but he's definitely someone for the future. And there you go, look, a wide there, but it's one of those nights for him. I hope that it's another one of his nights for him next week, but it could be the other way too. He's one of those players.
Poor effort from Molyneux, but it is a slippy night and tricky one all the same. There's no easy scores taken in a night like this, as Mike Quilligan takes this kick out, dealt with by Sean Ivis. Good turn away from Ivis as well. It is James Molyneux that's chasing him down there. Good work from Molyneux, and Drom Broadford come up with possession. Bit of frustration maybe in that one from James Molyneux, trying to win it back after missing the easy free, but it's Newcastlewest now. Concede another free. Mike Sexton not happy from where the free was taken, and just slows things down towards the inevitable here, which will be a Newcastlewest victory in the opening round of this Limerick Senior Football Championship.
Yeah, I don't think it has been in doubt since probably midway through the first half, and in the third quarter, as we already pointed out, Newcastlewest could have really been out of sight, but their shooting left them down a bit.
It's Newcastlewest on the run, and Cian Sheehan certainly looked for plenty of work since he's entered the game. Great run from Sheehan, pops back onto his left foot, and that's an excellent score from Cian Sheehan. He went one way then the other, Pat, then he did one way and the other again. Brilliant work, and then pops it over. Great score.
Look, as Matt said earlier, he's a powerful runner, Cian. He missed last year with the cruciate, and it was obviously, look, they still won the championship without him, but he's a serious member to be bringing back into the team. He's a hard man to stop there. In fairness now to, I think it was James Brosnan, he's running at you with the ball, what do you do? He can kick it off his left or his right. So again, another a big piece in the Newcastlewest game plan.
Yeah, brilliant work from Cian Sheehan, Matt.
Yeah, I agree totally. He gives him a second option with incisive, searing runs. Like Ian Corbett, is one of the best runners through defences that we know. Cian Sheehan is much the same, and the high energy he brings to the game. We just saw it, how he worked for that point, and the execution again was first class.
Another chance for Owen Hurley to add his tally. It's just all too easy for Newcastlewest, as we've mentioned throughout. Just 35 or so metres for Owen Hurley from this, straight in front. And has he popped that one over? No mistake from Owen Hurley. 2-12 to 1-3 in favour of Newcastlewest against Drom Broadford here in the Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship. It's going to be a victory in round one for Newcastlewest. They'll get a break now until they play Ballysteen in a couple of weeks' time. But Ballysteen, of course, have Drom Broadford by the looks of things next week. I don't think there's any doubt about that, as Killian Fahy takes the mark from the kick-out, plays it inside, looking for Brian Ahern. Good take from Brian Ahern. Now he's on the run. Danger maybe here for Newcastlewest. Kind of off balance when he kicked that one down. It's a poor wide. Maybe could have tried to work it inside.
Yeah, it's a sign of a player that probably hasn't seen enough of the ball, and trying to do too much when he gets it in. But it's impressive the way he won that ball there. Now it was a sticky ball to win, and it's stuck. So from a Ballysteen point of view, he's definitely someone that will have to be watched for next week anyway.
No question, he'll be a big danger man in that game next weekend. Newcastlewest with Mike O'Keefe now in possession. No need to rush with anything in the dying embers of this game. As Matt O'Callaghan mentioned a few minutes ago, that was long over. Probably when they got that second goal. Good work from Mike Quilligan. Good pass, found Cian Sheehan, and now they go low ball into Liam McCartan. Great turn, speed from McCartan. Great ball across Shane Stack. Can't get a flick to it. Tried to flick it on inside, And it's worked out. It was Donegal Woods that was inside from a Newcastlewest point of view, but from Broadford now with Damien Burke in possession does well get the ball away, but there's pressure all over the place here. Fouled up on the Drom Broadford player, and it was Michael Ryan that was fouled. And Drom Broadford will start with a free on their own 45. Matt?
Yeah, I think that particular one, if Liam McCartan's pass had found the target, it would have looked spectacular, but I think it was a bit of a hit and hopeful one, because but it would certainly have spelled danger for Drom Broadford had it gone to a Newcastlewest player.
And Killian Fahey now for Drom Broadford in possession, searing through the Newcastlewest defence, but yet again Newcastlewest, anytime there's danger going into their 45, going into their defence, it's stopped very quickly. Slows everything down. Drom Broadford need goals, they're not going to get them.
Yeah, like, it's clever football. Like, they know points are not a threat to them at the minute, so like they can do it. If they put themselves in that position in a match where they're able to do it, then I don't see why they shouldn't do it. And again, Killian is probably one of the few in the game who's been able to break tackles for Drom Broadford. Like he has played as much as they've been found wanting in a few areas, but Killian Fahey's played well. James on another day could have got 1-2. Brian Ahern, excellent first half, probably starved the ball second half. So like, there are things that, obviously, you look at the scoreboard, it's hard to justify, but there's certainly things that they have going for them.
It's going to be Derry McCarthy to take this free for Drom Broadford. Fine strike from Derry McCarthy off the post. Could have been dangerous. James Molyneux gets to it, met by James Kelly. It's Molyneux that's going to come up with it. Has he been fouled? And Mike Sexton says there's a free for Newcastlewest. I'm not sure about that one.
I think the umpire had his hand up for 45.
Oh, the ball's gone out for 45. Yeah. Indeed it has. You'd imagine it'll be dropped around the edge of the square. Derry McCarthy will take it again. It's all about pride at this stage of the game for Drom Broadford, and as Pat Ranahan mentioned, something to look for next week in their game against Ballysteen. But Matt, the one thing is, the advantage Drom Broadford have gone into the game next week is that they'll have played a game. Yeah,
they'll have a game under their belts. But it's a very, very quick turnaround when you've suffered a heavy defeat. So Mike Fahey and his backroom team and Johnny Buckley will have a big job of work to do in the coming week to pick the lads up. But I would think that Pa mentioned it there a while ago, there are a number of positives out there from Broadford. Certainly we spoke earlier on about leadership and who the leadership should be provided, who should provide it for them. Certainly Killian Fahey wasn't found wanting in that department. Derry McCarthy got on a lot of ball, but probably it didn't use it as he would have liked. Certainly James Molyneux and Brian Ahern have shown, even on a difficult evening like this, like that they're not lost at this level, and there are a number of positives for Drom Broadford. And I suppose overall you cannot forget either that they were playing the county champions with a new look team. Not only had they lost the old brigade or the old guard, but they had also lost a couple of players which had boosted their ranks for the last couple of years from Fina Kilmeady, who are gone back to their own club. So they had a lot of gaps to fill on their senior team. They took a leap of faith. They put 5 of last year's under-21 team into the attack. It was a huge chance to take, whilst it didn't win the match, but you just couldn't say that it was a failure either. And longer term, and I know it's very, very hard to look into the longer term, they will benefit from it, and the young players in particular will certainly be looking to the second run out next week against Pa and Co in the second round.
And Pa, just on Newcastlewest, as the full-time whistle has gone here, as you may be able to see, 2-12 to 1-3 victory, but they never had to get out of first gear at all.
No, I suppose the handy goal that Drom Broadford gave him early on was probably just that, because they were a little sloppy and slow starting, which you would expect, but we're trying to find fault to the team who basically won the match at a canter without ever kind of going into third or fourth gear. So it's ominous for the rest. You see the Adair score from the other match. Going into this, you would have said they're the two, you don't say any different coming out of it. They've got serious strength and depth. They're probably one of the few teams with Adair that can cope with losing a player to injury, losing a player to suspension or something like that. So like it's ominous for the rest. They're happy out with the performance tonight. They get to sit back for 2 weeks and watch the match next week and go from there, and then 3 weeks into the quarter final. But certainly from watching that, they'll have tougher tests ahead, no doubt. Maybe Broadford weren't targeting this match, more so the next match, you don't know. But Newcastlewest marker laid down, definitely.
Yeah, it's victory for Newcastlewest here over Drom Broadford on a 2-12 to 1-3 scoreline. Huge win for the county champions of last year. That's not us finished on Limerick GA TV this weekend. Tomorrow evening from Hospital we have beaten finalists from 2019 Ula up against intermediate champions Galtee Gales. Tomorrow from Hospital at 7 p.m. Join us for more live action on Limerick GA TV then.